Hi, Mandy. I'm gonna start putting together the carrots and I'm using my phone, so hopefully this will work. Anyhow, I've got most of the stuff ready and I just wanted to give you a picture of what we've got. I didn't know how many, what volume my carrots were gonna do. So anyway, it turns out that I have got 2 liters. And once they're kind of packed down, it'll probably be about 1.5 liters. So that's going to help me figure out how much fermentation starter I need and how many jars. So what we've got then is 4 loosely packed, it's 2 liters of carrots grated in the food processor, and I've got 2 tablespoons of salt on top of them. So I just wanted to show you the measurement, and then I'm going to pop them into a bowl and carry on. So it'll be interesting to test this recording method to see what happens. So these are in here in the salt, and I'm going to give them a mix with my hands just to get the salt distributed throughout the carrots. And the salt has a couple of purposes. The first purpose is it's going to mix with the carrots and it's going to start to pull out any moisture that's stored in the carrots, because we're going to need some moisture to cover them. So I have stirred those up with my hands and we've got the carrots. Next is the ginger. This was about a 3-inch root of ginger. It was about 2 inches across and 3 inches high. So it's a nice big batch of ginger. And I'm just going to pop these in. And get rid of that so we can work. And again, I'm going to use my hands, and I couldn't find my gloves, so the hands are very clean. Well, I'm mixing in the ginger, and I'm giving the carrots a little squeeze. Now, the next thing I'm going to add is some fermentation starter. And you can use the whey from some yogurt, or, you can like put some yogurt in a cheesecloth or a nut milk bag, allow it to strain and collect the liquid underneath. You could use about 1/4 of a cup of whey for each liter you plan to make. So what I have here, though, is instead of whey, I'm using my favorite Mercola probiotic. So I have a jar here, and I have put 3 capsules of the probiotic in some filtered water, and that's about 3/4 of a cup. The reason I'm using a little extra water because these carrots have been stored since the fall. If I was using fresh carrots, I wouldn't need to use as much water. So I'm going to give this a shake up. And then I'm just going to pop this in with the carrots. And again, I'm going to reach in and stir everything up. And see that? I'm going to stop the recording for a few minutes and allow them to sit. And that is going to allow the salt to pull out more liquid before I start packing them in the jars. So I'll see you in a minute. It's not as easy to do on the phone, but here we go. I'm going to pause recording. Hello, we've had a chance to let the carrots sit for a while. And I thought I would actually put them back into this container to give you an idea of how much they shrank as the water started to drain out of them. So I'm going to pop this over here, and then I am going to walk around and make sure I can actually see this on the recordings. Oh, look at that. And Pete's wanting me to feed him. He'll have to wait. So we have got, this is a roughly 500 ml jar, I think. 500 mils, yeah, okay. They're shorter and squatter than the regular ones. Anyway, these are 3 matching ones that I'm going to use because I have a 3-person birthday party tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is just start to plop this in and fill them up. And it's easier to use this. And then because they're wide mouth jars, I can reach in and push things down with my knuckles. And we're going to do a bit at a time. And it looks to me like I'm going to have some extra, which is fine. And oh yeah, it looks like I'm going to actually have a lot extra, which is even better than fine. Okay, good. So, as you know, we just kind of do this and we keep layering and keep pushing until we've used up all our stuff. And we want to push everything down so that there's no air bubbles. And so that we get as much in the jar as we can. And let's see. So what are we doing? Oh yeah, we're doing all right. This is just going to take a little while. And okay, we don't want to fill them up past the shoulder of the jar. So, well, yes, actually, this is not going to be too bad at all. That's going to be just about what I expected. And I do have one more jar to use here for the overflow, which I will enjoy myself. So you can see we've got lots of juice left in the bottom there, which is great. You know. Now, the whole point of all this packing, besides taking out the air bubbles, is to make sure that we push all the carrots down so that they're underneath the liquid. The fermentation is what we call an anaerobic process. So what we want is oxygen to be kept away while the fermentation is happening. And as you can see, I'm popping back some more of these. So let's see what we got. I'm just gonna keep pressing. And the thing with these jars, now they're really, I wouldn't necessarily use them for home fermenting but they're the only 3 matching jars I have. And since it's a gift, and that's actually, I'm kind of late preparing the gift. It's kind of the best I can do. So I want people to see like they're getting a nice batch of stuff. So those are pressed down, and as I press, there is liquid coming up. Now, what we have to do then is distribute the remaining liquid here evenly, because then that will make sure that everybody has kind of a similar amount of fermentation starter. And as you can see, it's not like 100% precise process. And hopefully it's what you would call good enough. So we're not doing too badly. Okay, they're getting past. And since I am late, these should have fermented for a week before they were ready, but they're not. Now, I feel as if there needs to be a little more liquid, and I don't have any more of this. So I'm going to put these little tops on them to keep the air from bumping in. And I'm going to make up a little bit of brine just to add to the top, just to make sure everybody's covered. And in the meantime, just so that you know, these are what you call pickle pipes, and I got them on Amazon. They're actually fabulous. We used to do kind of I'll cover it up with a fermentation lock or cover it with a tea towel with a loose lid, just to keep things from getting into it while it's fermenting. But these are great. These are silicone seal, so they seal, and then as the fermentation starts, the gas is going to escape through that little nubbin, which is great. So for you to start your fermenting, you would simply do what I've done, put this on and leave it on the counter for between 3 and 5 days. I'd say 3 days in the summer or 5 days in the winter, out of the sun, and you can just test it every day, give it a little pinch and see what kind of aroma is coming to you. If they start to really ferment a lot, they may actually overflow. And if that happens, you want to make sure there's a tray underneath this to catch the moisture. And then also, if they kind of bubble over, they are losing liquid. So you might want to double check, and you might want to have some brine ready to top them up just to keep them moist. So brine, we're looking at 1 tablespoon of sea salt to 1 liter of water. And the easiest way to make that is to boil a half a liter, put in your tablespoon so that the salt dissolves quickly, and then fill it up to the 1 liter and let it cool to room temperature before you use it on top of that. I think that's kind of the short story. And this is the book where I got the recipe, Nourishing Wisdom, from the Weston Price Foundation. You will also find that, Mandy, in my fermentation course. I think I had sent you the PDF and a link to the videos. Anyhow, that's it. That's fermented ginger carrots. Enjoy.